Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be making homemade banana pudding with the pudding from scratch. This is delicious and it's a lot easier than I think most people think. And to get started, I'm just going to go ahead and get a boiler and add to that some whole milk. And I'm going to go ahead and add some sugar as well, lots of it. And after that, you'll see I'm going to go ahead and add in the eggs, and I have 2 eggs and then 2 extra egg yolks. That's going to help make this pudding really rich and thicken it up. And I'm also going to add in some cornstarch, and after that, just a pinch of salt. And now I'm going to go ahead and get that really well mixed, and takes a little bit of wrist work, but once you get it good and combined, I'm going to go ahead and head to the stove and start cooking it over medium heat. It'll take about 10 minutes, and we're going to want to stir this frequently, so this is one where you have to kind of stand over it and watch it. But before you know it's going to start to thicken up, and this is the consistency that we're looking for. I've always heard that you can just judge when it's ready by if it coats the back of a spoon. Once we bring that off of the heat, we're going to go ahead and add in unsalted butter and vanilla. And once we are finally finished with the pudding, I like to add it to a bowl and let it just cool off. Right now it's going to be way too hot to go ahead and start assembling our banana pudding, so I like to transfer it over to a bowl, cover it with some plastic wrap, and let this just come to room temperature. I am one of those weird people who don't like my banana pudding super cold, so right now I'm just going to use the saran wrap, and I'm going to actually lay it on top of the surface of the pudding so that it doesn't form that weird film or skin. And I just set that over on the counter and let that cool, and I'm going to go ahead and start cutting up my bananas. Now, I don't go for super ripe bananas, but I also don't want them too yellow. Those tend to not be as sweet and have a little bit of sourness to them. So I feel like this is about the look that I go for. It's not super ripe, not ready for any banana bread, but they're still firm, but just sweet. And from there, I'm just going to add in my vanilla wafers. I don't know what order you prefer to go. It's really not going to matter because, you just spoon this out when you're ready to serve it. But I like to lay down my vanilla wafers, then my bananas, and then my pudding. So I'm going to go ahead and get it assembled, and you can just enjoy this quick little run through. And now when I'm adding my pudding, this is pudding that has cooled off for about an hour or so. So it's slightly warm, but it's not hot by any means. And this is going to thicken up as it sits and as we let it cool in the refrigerator. So don't worry, as long as it's not super thin, then it's fine to go ahead and assemble it. And right here, I'm just going ahead and doing my last layer of bananas, and I'm going to use the remaining leftover pudding to lay on top of here, and that's going to be my final layer. Now, if you don't want the whipped cream on top, you definitely can just go ahead and serve it as is. I personally feel like it's delicious either way, but I did want to add some whipped cream on it this time, and I'm also going to use the rest of the vanilla wafers that I had left in the bag and just kind of break them up, crunch them up in the bag real quick, and add those to the top. I feel like you always have those few straggler vanilla wafers left over that you didn't have room for, so I just thought this would be a good way to go ahead and use them all up. All right, and I did stick this in the refrigerator and let it cool for about an hour after I laid the whipped cream over it. So now we are just serving it up. It's easy. A few more steps than doing box pudding, which is still delicious, but I think homemade banana pudding, I just feel like nothing tops it. So hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you in the next video.